when in your mind did you officially cut the cord with the Patriots, and how hard was it to tell Robert and the Patriots you were moving on?
It was really, the night that I had stopped by and seen, I spoke with Mr. Kraft and asked if I could come over and see him. And we spoke and we had a great conversation. And I just wanted to express, what he's meant to me in my life. And we spoke with Coach Belichick at the same time. We were at different locations, so we talked to him, and it was a great conversation. And got a chance to talk to Jonathan Kraft as well. And, all three of those guys have been involved in so many important decisions in my life, but career-related, personal-related. And, I leave there with just great admiration for the people in that organization. And it's a world-class, first-class organization in every way. And I wanted to leave it that way too. So I know the Patriots have a great team. They always do. They have great players, great leadership, great coaches. And, I certainly wish them the best. But for me, I've got to transition and focus on the opportunity that I have to, make the current situation I'm in as best I possibly can. And, they hired me to do a job here, and I'm going to go in there and do it like you've always seen me do for a long time. Like, the fans have always seen me do, like opposing coaches, my teammates have seen me do. And I'm going to give it everything I got, like I've done everything in my life for as long as I've been playing this sport.
All right, guys, how you doing? Gotti Jr. here. Hope everybody's being safe. And with me is Spencer Rivkin, my fellow Patriots fan in mourning. This has been tough, man.
I don't even know where to start.
March 16th, that's when we heard the news, because that was the legal tampering day, March 16th. Mm-hmm. March 18th was free agency, but we already knew that Brady was not coming back. So
yeah,
we got all this stuff going on, obviously with the virus and stuff. And I was looking forward to some distraction. And I've been going back and forth on it if Brady was going to come back. And, after the teams like Tennessee dropped off the pitcher, then they said San Diego dropped off. And I was like, I don't know. It looks like he's coming back because it was coming down to Tampa Bay and I forget who the other team was. But I was like, I don't think he's going to leave New England now. Monday morning, wake up, Brady. I believe Monday, Brady put that post out there that he was not coming back.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, it really hits you. I mean, I've been preparing for it, but it still hits you.
Yeah, it was interesting. It was very interesting seeing the progression through the last few weeks and just the storylines that you saw. From last year when he was upset at Belichick for benching Malcolm Butler in the Super Bowl against the Eagles. And I mean, it seemed like it was just the relationship between the two was just a little bit odd.
Yeah.
But, at the end of the day, these individual players have to make the best decision for them. And I'm sure if things were better with the relationship over there, I'm sure he would have stayed. I mean, what greater of a story would it have been to play 2 more years and maybe bring back home another championship together and then, fly into the sunset, playing for one team. But that's not always the case. I mean, you got Peyton Manning that was getting beat up over there and with the Colts.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
he had to leave and worked his way over to the Broncos and had great players surrounding him, a good coach, and they kind of carried him a little bit along with Brock Osweiler.
Oh man, Brock on. I don't know. I was still shocked, even though, like I said, I was preparing myself for it. But I was in the mindset of like, you got 2 more years. You could finish it off in New England. Just make it work somehow. I guess all the stories from a few years ago, where there was turmoil between those two, ended up being true, even though we did get one more Super Bowl out of that. But,
well, I think as an individual athlete or just a competitor like myself, you kind of want to prove to yourself these different points that always come into your brain, whether it's playing for a different team or winning a race. I'm trying to compare apples to apples, a race on the surface that you don't typically would consider yourself a contender. Just like small stuff like that maybe he wanted to ultimately just prove to himself that he's put in his 18 or more years of playing in the Professional Football League. And it's just proven a point. He likes people that doubt him. That's his fire and fuel. Yeah. And I mean, he's still over there, in the East. He's going to be playing, the teams that he would typically play.
Well, we got him in the NFC now, so it's going to be different for him, but
well, he's going to see a whole new group of animals. He's going to be playing more teams. He's going to be playing different teams more than he has in the past, but he's ultimately going to be I think what's interesting about the whole thing going to the Bucs is I was texting Richard Saxon like a week before it happened. He's like, "What's going on with Brady?" I'm like, "I don't know." He says that no one knows anything because I saw his post that Brady, Tom posted. No one knows anything, and I'm like, "Oh, that means he's staying. That means he's staying."
Yeah,
and I'm like, he's like, "Why do you think he's going to stay?" I'm like, "Yeah, he's going to stay. He's definitely not going to go play for the Bucs." And I said that, and I'm like, I went back and looked at the text. I'm like, I can't believe I said that. And then I'm like, it actually ended up being true. But I started digging in a little bit deeper, and I realized who the head coach was, Bruce Arians, the AKA quarterback whisperer, and phenomenal coach. I think with a lot of experience he has on the table, and just the talent pool around him, around Brady, there's just probably one of the better teams he's going to be playing with.
Oh, absolutely. I don't think people realize offensively what they have.
Yeah, I think. I just don't want to see it be a complete disaster because that would just. Feel like it would just hurt everything, but
yeah, I hate to see him go there and they go 7-9. You know what I mean? Just, I'd like to see him succeed and do good.
What's interesting is I saw something posted on Facebook was they said that the Bucs actually averaged through the whole season. They were like third on the overall scoring list in the regular season, which was 28 points scored per game. In every game they played, averaging 28 points a game. And the 8, I don't remember exactly what their record was last year. It was like 7-8 or 7-9 or whatever it was. And the games that they lost, that quarterback turned over the ball 3 or more times in the games that they've lost.
Wow.
Which Brady's, averages, 5 to 6 TDs in the whole season, including like a Super Bowl year. So So who was the quarterback last year for the Bucks? It
Jameis.
was
Jameis Winston.
Jameis, yeah. He had
30 interceptions.
30 or plus more interceptions.
Yeah,
they yeah.
He couldn't see. I mean, so he had eye surgery over the winter here, and so supposedly he was going to get back on track here, and then they could, obviously get Brady, so that's over. But
yeah, well, I think that they're going to see a whole different form of leadership and determination, and that the whole culture is going to change for the next 2 years, and I think it's going to be a good one. I mean, by no stretch, he puts in the work. I mean, you're going to see results, and if he doesn't make it to the Super Bowl this year, I mean, I just want to whatever the NFC Championship game. Hopefully he makes it there, and then if he wins or loses, then so be it. Then that is what it is. But
they're saying his path to the NFC Championship game is actually pretty good. So being in that division and then be able to get there is he should. With that team, he probably should make it there, at least to the NFC Championship, and then we'll see what happens at that. But, that's not a team to, just take lightly for sure. I know a lot of people are laughing about it, but I don't think they realize what's all there. So,
yeah, I mean, he's going to have to go.
You got Evans and Godwin and then O.J. Howard, and it's like, man, that's all he needs.
Yeah, I mean, he's gonna be playing against a great teams with great quarterbacks. He's got Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
He's got Aaron Rodgers, Jimmy Garoppolo, the Saints. I mean, you want to compete against those guys because those are the people that are the greats, and you don't want to ever have an easy path to the Super Bowl. You want to fight.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Fight your competitors right up to the big game, which is the NFC Championship game. He's got a good coach. I actually really like Bruce. He's very experienced, and they call him the quarterback whisperer. So I'm sure they're going to be doing some different schemes that hasn't done as much. So
yeah, from what I'm hearing too, there's a lot of love between those two there. So I didn't realize that between Bruce and Brady. So I guess I should have maybe seen it coming if I'd have known that ahead of time. But I was reading these articles, and those two really get along well. So, maybe
I think it's going to be cool. I think with a young group of talent that he's going to be surrounding himself with. I also heard for some reason that Antonio Brown was wanting to go to the Bucks.
Well, that's another thing. According, there was a period there where Brady had, he wasn't signing the contract yet, and everybody's like, well, he didn't sign yet, so let's hold the horses here. And, maybe he pulls a Josh McDaniels at the last second and comes back to the Patriots. And I was kind of hoping, I had hope, when I went to bed one night, I'm like, well, Brady still hasn't signed. Maybe when I wake up in the morning, he's on the Patriots. But, so there was a rumor, there was 3 things that were holding up the contract. And one of them was he wanted Antonio Brown on the Bucks with him. So, that was a rumor. So they have a strange, him and Antonio Brown have this strange relationship. Like, but they really, like, I'm kind of shocked by it that Brady would want to, all the trouble that
surround himself with
I mean, especially after weirdo. Antonio was giving the cops all the hard time. I don't know if you've seen the video. Antonio Brown was yelling at the cops and calling them names and stuff like that. And I was shocked that Brady, even after that happened, I was shocked that he would want to associate with him. There's a weird little thing going on there between those two. I don't get it, but
well, I think he sees a different side of Antonio Brown that we don't see.
I figured that, but then when I saw that whole video with the cops and everything, and he was really belittling them, and I was kind of shocked after that Brady was still, occasionally liking some of his posts. He wasn't liking a post like that, but he was, Antonio Brown would come out one week and say something positive, and Brady would, like it. And it's like, really? He's still, as protective as Brady is with the people that are around him. Still wants AB. So that was a rumor. I don't know if it's true or not that he wanted AB on the Bucs with him, because supposedly the Bucs are giving Brady full roster control. Apparently that's not the case because they didn't get AB. So, and Bruce Arians said we won't have AB on our team. So,
well, ultimately, it's organization that's coming to a decision if they want someone like him on the team, and he just doesn't fit the bill.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, I wouldn't want a guy on my team that's going to cause a problem, and you don't know if he's going to be there through the whole season because of his history.
Yeah, I mean, if we couldn't control him in New England, nobody will. There's just a serious mental issue there.
Well, I mean, he's a warrior, which is why Brady likes him.
Yeah. I mean, there's no doubt about it. The guy, talented as hell, but just can't hold it together.
Yeah, well, it all starts with kind of his childhood. So that's another story.
Yeah, right. So all the rumors, like, there's so many things I'm reading, like, well, what caused this split, and we can go all the way back to the Jimmy Garoppolo days, because Brady didn't like Jimmy because he felt threatened. Kraft forced the trade because Belichick wanted to pass the torch to Jimmy. Kraft forced Belichick to trade Jimmy away. And, some are saying that's when it all started, because Belichick wanted Jimmy, and Brady felt, he was mad about that. So that's one area right there. Like you said, the Malcolm Butler situation with the Eagles, Super Bowl. What was the other one I read today too? That was he just recently when Belichick wanted to trade Brady. Remember that there was a rumor floating around that Patriots were looking to trade Brady to the 49ers to get Jimmy back.
Mm-hmm.
And supposedly when Brady heard that, Brady got pissed and made up his mind right there that he was leaving. So I don't know. I don't think we'll ever find out the truth. Maybe after they're all retired, we'll find out. But and the other, and of course, the other one was that the Patriots weren't putting anybody around Brady. He was taking all these pay cuts, and they did nothing.
He's been doing that for the last 10 years.
Yeah, and they did nothing to replace Gronk last year. And didn't get any help. Didn't get any help for him, because now he needs help. He's at the point in his career where he's can't make these guys better anymore. He needs to surround himself with a lot of talent. So, which is the case when you get older.
Well, his skill set isn't what you're seeing. What you're seeing in this league now is these people like Patrick Mahomes. He is moving around the pocket, but he's quick enough to dodge these players. And the way that the game has changed, because it has changed a tremendous amount. And,
you can see it this year for sure.
And you can see how these different play styles are not conventional as much as they used to be. Sticking behind the pocket, throwing within 3 seconds, and going for it. But now you're seeing these other quarterbacks doing things that no one's ever seen before, and that's just not how Brady plays.
Yep.
But the last 5 years, he's had great stats, and by no stretch is his stats getting worse. They've just gone. They've gone in a different direction because of just no players. I mean, all these teams that they're showing big points of just they're leading the board in wide receivers, top running backs. I mean, it was just watching that AFC Championship game against the Titans was just my TV was about to freaking explode. I was so ready to throw the remote at the TV
Yeah.
because they couldn't stop that guy from running the ball.
No, Derrick Henry. No, it was terrible. But you just knew going into the playoffs, though, that we didn't have it offensively. It was just, and I think
it was such a weird feeling for the whole season.
Oh, it's terrible.
It was just such a, there wasn't like a full chug.
Nope.
Chugging through the season. It was just like, I feel like it was just all negative energy the whole time.
Absolutely. Even when we were 8-0, it was just, it didn't feel good. It was not a strong team. Defensively, we were doing good, but that defense wore down after a while when they realized, like, look, it's not going to matter. We can't move the ball on offense. And I think they felt like the whole year they were putting it on their shoulders that they have to win games for this Patriot team because the offense isn't doing it.
Yeah.
And they just wore down at the end of the season. That was it.
Yeah, I mean, that running back was freaking awesome.
Oh, Derrick Henry tore it up. I mean, it was...
It felt like watching him on the screen that he was twice as big as everyone that was trying to tackle him.
Absolutely.
Twice as fast and just outrageously talented.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was tough to watch. It was like watching just like a bulldozer going through the line. You just knew you couldn't stop. He was getting 5 yards every time, 5 yards plus every time.
Yep.
But what was going to happen? We were going to go and play Kansas City or eventually Baltimore and just get run over. There was no, sad to say, but we weren't going to put up 30 points. You needed 30 plus points to beat those teams. You weren't going to do it.
Yeah. Yeah. I definitely agree, but man, it sucked to watch.
And it just, like, you're talking about the negative energy. Like, when I was watching Brady throughout the year, especially late in the year when we realized, this ain't going to be the year. He had such a weird body language during those games. Like, I don't know if you noticed it, but like he would just walk off, like almost like he didn't care. Like, I'm not saying he didn't care, but he would just walk off like, F this. He
was just over it.
Yeah, he was over. Yeah.
He's like, he knew that no one else was trying to further bettering the team. It was just like he knew that it was just such a terrible direction of where he was going it down.
Mm-hmm.
You can definitely tell when he came off the field, it was just, he was walking off. He's like, that one game when they were losing, I think when they were on like a 2 or 3 losing streak, he was yelling at the players and on the bench. And that was the Brady that I knew watching him through the last 10 years of him firing up his players. Like, come on, get your, crap together. Like, what are we doing? And you kind of saw that kind of wore off. It was just like, walk back, grab his yellow Gatorade, threw his helmet down on the PVC pipe and just freaking put his head down and waited till he was back on the field.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. I noticed that. I was just like, wow, this is terrible. And then the press conferences, you could tell. I think it was like when we beat the Eagles, even though we won at that press conference, he was just pissed. He was like, this offense, he wasn't happy with it. And there was nothing they could really do.
Yeah.
So, and
well, also too, I mean, this is kind of back to the relationship with Bill Belichick. Remember when he couldn't bring his
his trainer, Alex Guerrero.
Yeah, down to the field. He wouldn't allow, because his trainer was training other players as well, and Bill was like kind of telling him that this can't happen. It just
that was weird too. And then they did allow him back eventually. I think the year later he was allowed back, and his he had an office at Gillette Stadium that was opened up again. That was all weird, wasn't it? It was
very weird.
Yeah.
Well, Belichick, he's the coach and essentially the GM.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So, it's just an unfortunate spot that they put each other in, because Brady would have to go to Bill with things that were bigger than a normal coaching job, but since he was a GM, it was just like it's just such a weird position. It's usually not traditional that you would do something like that, because you kind of put all things to the side. It's like you have a great, relationship with your head coach, a friend relationship and the competitive relationship with them, and a mentor relationship. And then when you want to go to them with much bigger responsibilities or issues that you see, and for Bill's perspective, it was always not treating it with more professionalism than you would think a typical only position of GM would take it.
Yeah. Yeah, there was a rumor out there too when that all happened, where he banned Alex Guerrero from the sideline stuff. There was a rumor that Alex was saying he was criticizing Bill Belichick's way of conditioning, and it was very old fashioned. And Alex didn't feel he felt that wasn't the way they should be doing things. And I guess Belichick got all pissed off, and that's when he started the whole, he's not allowed on sidelines and all sort of shit. So I don't know, and then, like I said, the following year he was allowed back. So yeah, I think he was even traveling with the team then too. So yeah, there's a lot of things there you could point to. Nobody's gonna figure it out completely.
I think a whole new ship is gonna reunite some fire, working with a coach that's going to maybe more appreciate him a little bit more. I mean, you can definitely tell. I'm going to go back a step here, that when he left, Bill finally said that he was the greatest of all time. And I was listening to the Herd podcast, and essentially they're like, Brady's going to win the short-term divorce, and when you win the short-term divorce, the other party is always giving them more credit. Just to appreciate them a little bit more. But I think the Patriots will win long term because Belichick just has so much more years left being a coach than Brady has being a player.
Right. Yeah. Well, it should all be interesting to see what happens. Hopefully, I'm going to be rooting for him. I'm not switching teams, but I'm definitely rooting for Brady to do good down there. I
haven't really thought about it a whole lot. I mean, I'm definitely a freaking Tom Brady fan. I mean, he's essentially my idol for sure. But my whole family grew up in Massachusetts, so I'm a Patriots fan. I love to see a full on Tom Brady winning another Super Bowl. But I'll be watching both teams for sure.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
It is going to be a little bit odd, just the first game, just seeing it happen.
Yeah, yeah. And in 2021 we play them, so, and I believe they come to Gillette, so that should be interesting. But yeah, I'm looking forward to actually see what Belichick does, see how the rebuild goes, see if we stick with Stidham or not, or is he going to go for someone else in the draft? I don't think we're going to go after Cam Newton, Andy Dalton, any of those guys.
No, they don't fit the bill over there.
Yeah,
definitely not Cam.
Right, and so I think we're going to stick with Stidham, and we got Brian Hoyer back at backup. He'll be a good teacher for him, and as far as learning the offense and stuff. So
yeah. I mean that was just a safety precaution for them. Just an experienced guy that they've had working with, that he has experience working with Brady. That was just a care package to protect them if something happened to their starter.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I don't think we're not gonna make any crazy moves and try and win now. I think Belichick's looking 2-3 years out. Don't underestimate Stidham. He's going to be. I think they're going to get him rolling. So
yeah, we'll see.
All right. Well, that was interesting, right? So what a couple of weeks here has been crazy. And then when he officially signed, I was like, well, hey, now we move on. And today Brady held a teleconference, I believe. It was an actual press conference, I don't think. I didn't get a chance to listen to it yet, but he just, they asked him about the Patriots and stuff, and he's like, well, I don't want to look back in the past. I'm just moving on. We're moving forward, and that's it. So he already put the statement out there to the Patriot fans. I kind of wish he did a video. He always does these, the Instagram videos he's doing. And he put one out yesterday, and I was like, oh, this is a video saying goodbye to the fans and stuff. And it was just for TB12 and how to stay healthy through the virus and stuff. But
yeah,
I don't know. I want some closure a little. the whole statement that he made out, I would imagine a PR firm did it. But I kind of would like to see Brady just make a video and thanking everybody and say, hey, we're moving on. But that's just me. I like closure at the end of a relationship. And that'd be a good way for me. A nice video. Come on, Brady. Do it for me.
Yeah. I think he's so far past that. I think it's just like he doesn't even think that they deserve that for some reason.
Yeah, I know.
Bill.
Yeah,
I feel like he always had a great relationship with Robert, but I just...
him and Belichick, yeah. Just... It's amazing the success they had, and even after the turmoil there, they still won another Super Bowl. So,
well, yeah, I mean, it just shows that you can get the job done if your partner in crime, and you aren't in sync. But they kind of put it past them. But I just think that after last year, it just got to Brady. It's like, look, I don't have that much years left, and I'm going to put my heart and soul into this. If you're not going to be willing to work with me with this, then this isn't going to work.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and Belichick wasn't willing to pay him. He wanted a 2-year commitment. Now, they were saying he wanted 2 years, $60 million. I think he ended up 2 years with Tampa Bay, $50 million.
$50 million guaranteed,
right?
And then $4.9 million in.
I have $15 million base salary and $10 million in roster bonuses.
Yes.
So coming out to $50 million. I don't think even if the Patriots said, "Hey, we're giving you $60 million over 2 years," I don't think he was taking it. I think he was leaving regardless. But
yeah, it wasn't about the money. It was just having a confirmed 2 years guaranteed, playing for 2 years, no option for the second year bull crap. It was just, I want to play 2 years. Give me the best option that I can get with the team, and let me go out and do my thing.
Yeah, and Belichick wasn't going to commit 2. He wanted 1. So I don't even think he wanted 1 from Brady. He just wanted to move on. So what are you going to do?
Yeah. Well, in about 10 years from now, we'll see when Belichick's retired. I'm sure they're going to be interviewing him a lot and having talk shows. And
yeah, maybe we'll get answers then.
Yeah.
We'll see. But all right, well, we'll be rooting for Brady for sure. So best of luck to him down there in Tampa. Once the NFL, hopefully there is a season this year. Maybe we'll do that podcast that we're talking about where we'll have you on once in a while talking about NFL.
Heck yeah.
Me and you do a podcast together on it or something like that.
Totally down.
All right. Well, I appreciate you being on QuikRips.
This is a whole new gig you're doing?
This is a whole new gig. We're doing these things called QuikRips. We're throwing them out there, little 20, 30-minute episodes or so. Just talking about whatever. And especially in this time where everybody's quarantined, stuck in the house, trying to give a bunch of podcasts out there to listen to, not just RC talk, so. But
very nice.
Yeah. All right, Spencer. I appreciate you being on, talking about it, and we'll have you on again. We'll start up our podcast, our NFL podcast, when things get rolling.
Yeah. I appreciate you having me on, man.
Yeah.
It's always a pleasure.
All right, buddy. Keep doing those videos. I see you doing those Facebook videos. Those are awesome. I see. I think it's really cool what you're doing there. So.
Yeah. Thank you.
I watch
got some more YouTube videos coming. I'm actually in the process of actually doing a YouTube video today.
Oh, great.
Doing how I pack my travel bag for when I go to races. People ask how do I get the proper weight, and no one can figure it out. So I always seem to make it happen. So we'll have to see how video comes out. Yeah,
that's awesome, man. Yeah, people love that stuff. So really cool. I let the video stuff to you guys, you and Jason. I got a face for radio, so we keep it like that.
Exactly.
All right, buddy. Hey, thanks for joining us, man. I appreciate it. Taking the time out. So
thanks, man.
We'll catch you again, man. Go Patriots. And I guess go Bucks. Fire the cannons. Fire the cannons, Spencer.
Yep.
All right, buddy. We'll see you.
See you, man.